My front three then, Chucky Lozano, Cesar Huerta, and Santi Gimenez. You know, Herc, I love Santi Gimenez. But not everybody right now is saying wonderful things about Santiago Gimenez. And the people who are downplaying his success, it may well surprise you. Mexican legend, Cuauhtemoc Blanco. Quote, with all due respect, you are talking about the Dutch league. You are not talking about the Premier League. You have to be realistic. You are talking about a league that really is not a competitive league. Whoa. Sounds like shots fired, Herc, but I think we're making this get lost. Is this a get lost for Cuau, or do you agree with what he says?
It's not a get lost for Cuau. And listen, if there's an authorized voice to talk about Mexican football, it's Cuauhtemoc Blanco. We so much have said this last episode. When you look at the Eredivisie, it's a very attacking league. The amount of players who come out of there and have scored plenty of goals, and in the next jump, it was lacking. It's a different league. It's much more demanding physically. It's much more demanding defensively, tactically, all these things. Look at these names here. I mean, these are players with big transfers that absolutely crushed the Dutch league and struggled at the next level. You can see the dip, the before and the after. Will that happen to Santi Gimenez? We don't know. But what Cuau is saying, there is some actual merit to it.
I mean, it's harsh, though, right? You're going to say that the Dutch league is not a competitive league? If you want to make the point that the Dutch league is not as competitive as the Premier League, or that you think his numbers might not convert goal for goal to the highest level, that's one thing. But this feels like sabotage from inside the house. Like, why is Cuauhtemoc Blanco so worried about Santiago Gimenez? This is something to celebrate, not to downplay. This is a guy who has gone to the Dutch league, has dominated, has gotten better, and is proving that he is not among the best players in the world right now, but that what he's doing could be a step, could be a launching pad to becoming among the best players in the world. That's what we're talking about. It doesn't help when outlets, some of them may be related to this show, make graphics that put Santiago Gimenez in the same conversation as Kylian Mbappe and Harry Kane and others. We know he's not there. We know the Dutch league is not the Bundesliga. No. We know it's not the Premier League, Herc. But we can understand that this guy is doing very impressive things. Cuauhtemoc Blanco is not the person I want to hear downplaying the level of the Eredivisie or what Santiago Gimenez is doing. He's a politician. How many Dutch league games do you think he's really watching?
I don't know. If you're attacking Cuauhtemoc Blanco, attack Cuauhtemoc Blanco.
Exactly.
What do you mean? What is that? Is what he's saying wrong? Is it inaccurate? So
yes.
Don't say...
To say it is not a competitive league is inaccurate.
Okay. Let me tell you,
100% inaccurate.
Let me tell you something, okay? I do plenty of other shows besides this show, and some of those shows get transmitted to Latin America. Some of those shows only to Mexico. There is a feeling in Mexico like Santiago Gimenez is the next big thing that only the outlets in Mexico feel. I'm a massive fan.
Hold on a second. He's been linked to every major club in the world. What do you mean only the outlets in Mexico think he's the next big thing? Herc, that's ludicrous.
Listen to what I'm saying, and then you can throw a fit. You can start crying if you want, but listen to what I am saying, okay? There's a different reality for these pundits and fans in Mexico. Santiago Gimenez is a fabulous player, and with due time, he can get there. But they feel, a lot of these fans, pundits feel he should already be there. Now, that is the context to which Cuauhtemoc Blanco is saying, settle down. The reality is there's a massive jump. And he's right about that.
Then why not just say settle down? Why not just say slow down the hype train?
That's exactly what he said, with all due respect.
He says, please. He's trashed the league that the guy plays in. He's basically saying what he's done in Netherlands means nothing. That's what he said.
That's what he said? That it means nothing?
It's not a competitive league.
That it means nothing is what he said? Compared to the Premier League is what he was saying. I don't know if you saw that there. And also, did you see the names on that graphic? All right, so what are we talking about? Last week I told you about Jean-Claude Huntelaar being the only 9 to transfer to Real Madrid and how he struggled.
You're right. No players have ever had success after leaving Holland. You're right. Rob Van Persie, all those guys, they never existed, correct?
Yeah, that's what I said. How did you decipher that? That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. Come on, Seb. Santiago Gimenez is a fabulous footballer.
So you don't...
Fabulous footballer. Nobody's taking anything away from him. I hope that's not what you're getting from this.
That's what I'm taking from the Cuauhtemoc Blanco. No. Yes, that what he's accomplished in Europe is not that big a deal. That's what I take.
I don't know what to tell you if that's what you're taking from it.
What do you take from it?
That he's trying to say, slow down the hype train. There's a big difference from the Premier League and the Eredivisie. That's what I think I'm taking from it.
I think this is an old guy, bitter about the successes of a young guy.